Welcome to day 38. My name's Amanda and this is Getting to Know God series. We are using the Children's Bible, which is here, and there are 365 stories for every day this year. So join me with this journey, and today, day 38, is The Prisoner and the King, which can be found in Genesis 41. When the grateful wine steward left prison, Joseph asked for his help. "Please don't forget me," he pleaded. "Tell the king that I have done no wrong and do not deserve to be in prison." Joseph must have hoped that his troubles would be over soon. But the moment he was back at court, all thoughts of Joseph were right out of the steward's mind. 2 long years passed, and one night the king of Egypt had a dream that none of his special advisors could explain. In a flash, the steward remembered his own dream in prison and the wise, kind help that Joseph had given him. "I have been wrong," he told the king. "I had forgotten until this moment the young man who explained my dream to me in prison. He told me that I would be taken back into service, and his words came true. Joseph could help you too." Orders were given. The servants rushed to the prison to bring out the astonished Joseph. He was hastily washed, shaved, and dressed in clean clothes. Then he was ushered to the king's presence. "I am told you can explain dreams," the king said. "I cannot do so, your majesty," Joseph answered, "but God can. In my dream," the king went on, "I saw 7 fat cows coming up out of the river to feed on the grass. 7 thin, bony cows stood beside them. The thin cows ate up the fat ones. After that, I had another dream. I saw 7 full, ripe ears of grain beside 7 thin, withering ears. The thin ears ate up the full ones. What can this dream mean?" "God is telling you what is going to happen so that you can be prepared," Joseph explained. "The 2 dreams mean the same thing. There are going to be 7 years of good crop when everyone has plenty, but 7 years of bad harvest will follow. Those 7 years of shortage will use up all the plenty of the good years. This is the meaning of the dreams." What do you think about that then? For me, the lesson is about a way to behave when we have stuff and we have abundance and we have plenty of food, plenty of money, plenty of everything. The lesson that I gain from this story is not to use all of that plenty, but to store some aside so that when things get hard, you do have a little reserve to help you get by. It's a practice of, nowadays we would probably call it budgeting, or being frugal, or managing our resources more effectively. It's very difficult, I think, for a lot of people to do. And it may get even harder when things are less visible, especially when money becomes less visible. It's harder to manage it unless you set up systems in your bank, if you're allowed to just make sure that you put a pot of money aside directly out of your pay immediately, which is the system of kind of paying yourself first. I just encourage people just to stash some aside. So for example, the things that I have always done is when I've gone shopping, I may need 2 packets of spaghetti, but I buy 3. So if there's ever a time where I have a month that is a little bit shorter in cash, I have that extra stash of pasta or rice, or not necessarily potatoes, but I do have tinned goods and dry goods that I've stored away. What are your thoughts? What are your lessons from this story? Be good to hear. God bless you.